them as well. Does Stars play a lot of Invoker? I'm not super familiar with this player.
He plays a little bit. I'm not super familiar with everything that he plays. I know that Skywrath Mid is like one of his unique heroes that he plays. He plays a lot of Spirit heroes, obviously. Invoker, I don't see tons of.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
I'm
it's really
guessing they
good.
just don't want to take the risk, though. It's one of those heroes. It's interesting to watch Faker struggle in the mid lane. It's not something that we see too much of, and Stars definitely brought it last game. Like, he completely dominated and just was so strong on that Ember Spirit. In fact, they also just made sure that they picked up the Ember Spirit for Faker himself.
Mm-hmm. They did, yeah. They banned out the Void Spirit as well. They're afraid of that the mirror matchup or the reverse matchup as well, which is kind of funny to me. But like you said, they don't want to run the chance of them playing the Invoker against the Ember Spirit. You lack the kill potential there. Every time you want to pop the Flame Guard, he just throws a tornado out on you. It's miserable to play against.
5 seconds remaining.
So I'm curious today how Pangolier is going to round this one out. I think they've got a decent start to their draft. The question is if they grab another support here, they reveal what they want to do with their carry. Again, Magnus still is in the pool.
Go for the Omni Knight. Okay. Been seeing more and more of this hero recently. It's really good for Night Stalker, right? The fact that you can put the Heavenly Grace on him, and he's just able to run around just very easily. Plus the heals coming out, and it also discourages Infamous. You've already got the Ember Spirit, who's going to be doing some magical damage, but it'll really turn some of these fights with the Guardian Angel.
5 seconds remaining.
Depending on what they end up picking for Pakaz. I wouldn't be honestly. I don't know. I like part of me thinks that Pakaz wants something as a comfort pick, like a Morphling. Like, I feel like that's a possibility that could be coming out here. I'm not 100% sure on that, but just looking at what they're picking up on the side of Infamous, it feels like they're going for something more comfort.
My only issue with that is, you pick up the Morphling, Luki buys a Blink Dagger, and he's on top of you with Crippling Fear. All of a sudden, you get blown up.
You have a save, though, coming out, too, from Tusk, possibly, as well. Don't forget.
That is true. I'm not crazy about the Omni Knight in this draft, though. I don't think it saves you from that much. And again, talk about like the lack of rundown potential you have. Sure, you can turn a fight with the Repel. You can turn a fight with the Guardian Angel.
Repel?
Heavenly
Hello, Neph? Welcome to the current patch in the current year.
Oh, whatever. They should have changed it more visually if they were going to change how the spell worked.
Oh, jeez.
I'll say it. Come on, Valve. Omni Knight picked up, and then the Monkey King right after. You have your lane dominators, but you have a little bit of lack of catch right now. Night Stalker is decent for that, but I feel like, especially given the fact that they changed the Echo Saber around a little while ago that doesn't slow on every Stone Soldier and every hit inside the arena, they're going to be able to escape these guys pretty easily right now. So
I'll agree with that. Right now, I think that they're just way too light on lockdown on the side of NoPango. There's no way to hold them really in place with the Monkey King ultimate. I mean, there are options, right? You could go for something like a Sven. That's a lot of melee heroes, though, if you go for that, which is a little iffy. But, that will provide you with a big AoE stun. Granted, it'll take some time to get the Agnum Scepter online, but you can always throw out the Stormhammer if they're too grouped up. And he is very, very strong, but I don't know here. I don't know. And, like, if you look at what Infamous has going on, what do you think they're going to pick up?
I'm not sold yet. In fact, the Troll Warlord doesn't make that sense to me. We've talked about this a couple times. I don't think it's a very good hero right now. Yeah, exactly. I think it's way too easy to buy Heaven's Halberd against it, then just kind of sit there not doing anything for a huge period of time. And the fact that, nets were changed around. The pocket net doesn't make any sense. The pocket nets would change around. It doesn't catch people who have magic immunity. So you just kind of pop BKB and walk away from it. If he doesn't have a basher, then you kind of spend the entire team fight chasing somebody and not really doing anything, which sucks on your position one hero. You need to be able to change targets and stop people from juking you.
Well, it doesn't matter because you don't have the troll anyways. He's been banned out. The PL's banned out. AM's banned out because they realize they have very little lockdown on the side of NoPango, and he would just run an absolute muck around. So final ban coming up here for the side of NoPango. What don't they want to see? They ban out the Morphling. Okay, that's like I said, I figured they might want to go for something comfort for Pakaz, and that's definitely like his favorite hero to play. So then what do they pick up here? What's good that's going to be able to kite a bunch of these melee heroes? I mean, there's
10 seconds remaining.
There's a TB, but I'm not sold on that either with the Night Stalker being in the game too. It's kind of similar if you can't get that Sunder off.
Dire team pick.
Moment of truth. All right. They go for it.
I like it. I'll say that I like it. You know, it's not the most for kiting, but it fits very well in with the push lineup. You know, Tusk is going to be able to secure his lane for him. The majority of your damage on the side of NoPango is going to have to be physical, because I'm almost certain that they finish this off with another. Ooh, that's not amazing against the TB, actually. TB does a decent job at playing against the Spectre. I think it's going to take too long for Spectre to come online here.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And they lack wave clear as well. You know, they have a very aggressive lineup with Ember Spirit, Tusk, Beastmaster, Miranda. You know, they're going to out-farm you. You're not going to be able to bring this guy down with the damage that you have. It's mostly physical. I mean, yes, you have the nuke from Purification. You have Void. And you have, you know, Tree Dance and Fade Bolt. But, you know, those spells are all you have. That is almost nothing. It is not enough to deal with a Terrorblade. You know, I think this guy is just going to pop off this game.
I think they're just going to get kited nonstop because of the Metamorphosis. Just, you know, and he's eventually going to pick up a Scotty. That's going to negate a lot of this healing too. I see too many melee heroes over on the side of Pangolier to kind of deal with the kiting that's going to be coming out here. And the fact that they do have a lot of pushing potential early, right? You've got Pepita on the Beastmaster, who's going to be pushing nonstop. Faker, of course, on the Ember Spirit's going to be pushing out waves every second that he gets. And they have good setup too for these arrows. I don't know. This is going to be a rough one for NoPango, but we will have to see here for sure. Get into the game.
Right. Here's what I want to see this game. I want to see Infamous. You know, they start with 5 manning. Wait, no, you don't need to necessarily every hero. You don't have to bring your Terrorblade with you. At least 4 man. Bring them into the enemy jungle at the very start. Get the tag team off. First blood on Infamous. Secure that early laning phase. Get the advantage over the enemy mid. Let's see it. All right, they're doing. Where are they? Oh, they're not doing what I asked. They got 3 heroes up here, though. That's pretty decent. I think KXY should go with them, secure that first blood, but I imagine they're going to let themselves get caught out here on Pangolier. Just a feeling I have.
All right. We will find out, that's for sure. Definitely think that Faker's going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable on this hero. Definitely one of his better mid heroes that he plays. It almost feels like, sometimes I feel like, you know, mid players, they get really fired up, right? They lost the lane last game and they're like, no, give me my hero. I gotta show, I gotta prove that I am the, you know,
superior,
I'm not garbage. I'm the superior, yeah, exactly. The superior mid hero right here. Like, you know, the old 1v1 me mid, bro. Sort of thing.
I would value Faker over Stars as a mid player as well. I'm going to be honest. But, you know, last game, Stars played amazing. Like, nobody can doubt that.
I mean, this is one thing I really love about watching these open qualifier teams, especially as they make their way up and through groups, is that you start to see them, you know, start to shine a little bit. They have these moments where you can look back and be like, oh man, this is a guy that you want to keep your eye on because he's going to get better and better as it goes on. And this is the same thing with Faker, honestly. Faker played on, I don't know how many open qualifier teams for quite a while. And now look at him. You know, he's really risen up through the ranks. He's proving his mettle. He's had a couple games where he's been able to unseat Chris Luck rather, and Leo style. Like, this is how you get better. And even if, you know, you're not placing, you know, the top of your group or whatnot because you're an open qualifier team, you're just getting that experience. And you're getting the chance where people, you know, because sometimes you do scrims and sometimes people don't take them seriously. You know?
Yeah.
So not everyone... it's nice to have this.
Yeah, this is super serious stuff, though. One thing I do want to say, though, you know, this team, NoPango, I would call them like a real team, less so an open qualifier team like we used to see. Because, you know, in NA, a lot of the time, people just kind of group up. They just play the open qualifiers together. They don't really practice and play any scrims or take the game that serious. This team, they've been playing together for a little while. They've got proper comms. They put the practice in. Ooh.
Don't worry, I caught it. I caught it, and our Observer caught it. Tag team plus Metamorphosis is just very, very strong. So they get the kill on Luki down here.
A nice start. You know, you have a decent amount of armor, but your movement speed isn't that high, especially given the fact that, you know, Terrorblade isn't insanely slow now when he uses Metamorphosis.
Got a good value out of that, and they're getting good value here in this top lane. The boar slow has just been causing a lot of problems against Lies and Pingu, and Michael's just clipping away here, giving a couple of hits. Does have that one circlet here to get a little extra boost. Just keep seeing that Heavenly Grace getting tossed over onto Lies to help him lane. Faker doing the old, I'm gonna taunt non-stop and become very annoying to the other mid laner. Man, remember when Dota was like, they were like very serious about everything? It was like, you can't do that skin. It changes the whole glance value. It's a different color scheme, you know? None of this nonsense in my game, and now we have taunts like Ember Spirit slicing up meat. Dota.
Alpine Stalkers that would never be removed in 2020.
Definitely not, no.
And so look, it's a little cowboy hat on my bear.
Now he's got another bear. Oh, stars? Almost managing to get the final hit off here over onto Faker, and he's Faker?
What?
Hello?
Was he trying to go forward? And
I have no idea what he was trying to do there. That was... Maybe he's very tired, but there is no reason for him to go back in on that, especially because you can see the salve being used on the Monkey King. Like, there wasn't a kill potential there. There weren't creeps there for him to really hit. That was...
It's getting pretty late.
It is indeed. I think... Is it past midnight? Yeah, it's almost midnight where I am. You're West Coast, so you're still chipper and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
True enough.
Except for the fact that you had, like, no sleep last night. But, you know, whatever. Don't be such a baby, Neph.
Pull myself up by my bootstraps.
That he made himself.
Peta, he's getting... I'm trying to, you know, figure out what each of these people want out of these lanes. You know, in the bottom lane...
Yeah, Excel looks like he got some attention here, but does need to be careful. Luki turns back around, gets the kill. There's only so much that Pakaz can do, but he'd much rather be farming up here over in the lane than chasing down heroes for kills at this point.
You know, because he's probably not the most happy about that. He's forced to pop meta there, and he will secure himself a little bit of extra CS from that. But the enemies in the lane, you know, people on NoPango here, they managed to have salves on them, so they just salve themselves back up to full, negate all the damage that he just did to them. So they're probably going to start to run at him again after that Metamorphosis is down.
That makes sense. So still trying to just make some moves over here. Nice drop, though, coming up from Acer. Stars gets another kill on Faker in the mid lane. What the what? Faker. Look at this boy go!
It seems like Faker's having a bit of a rough night. You know, last one I did see, he just kind of walked back in there. I think, you know, he felt pretty bad about the last game, maybe. He thought, okay, this lane isn't going so well, or I can get a little bit more. I can cancel this guy's salve. I can keep pushing the limits of how I'm playing. But sometimes it's just not the risk to try to go for plays like that. He's getting punished super hard by Stars for every mistake that he makes.
You love to see it on these up-and-coming players here. So, snapping up that bounty rune. Looks like Rubik will be able to grab the other one. Michael finding a courier. Pingu taking a decent amount of damage. The arrow comes through and lands over onto Pingu from downtown. Pepita collects himself a kill. Does take some heavy tower damage here, but he could turn back around and try to fight this little Michael, now taking the tower damage as well. These boars putting a little bit of slow over onto Lies. It looks like they're not going to go for a hard committal here because they don't have much regen left over here on Pepita for consumables. Does have that one ring of regen, though.
In the bottom lane, you know, it turns to nighttime. Luki, he starts pushing back Poxes, and he's forced in the jungle. Now the creeps under his tower, it's a little bit safer, but he has to be careful for the next little bit. He is doing pretty well for himself, though. He's sitting at the top of the net worth. He's top of the CS chart, 36 and 4 now. But, you know, again, at nighttime, Night Stalker, he spikes. He's a lot harder to deal with, and all of a sudden, like, Tusk, he needs to move somewhere else. He can't sit in front of him. we're just gonna get voided and then right click down. It says you're on your own now.
Another arrow comes through. This one lands over onto Lies, but I don't think they're going to be going in on this. So they'll just be satisfied with that. That's a nice stack over here that Michael's managed to collect as he's going for the pull. He'll be able to connect here, but I'm sure they're going to try to fight them on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can, though, I guess is the question. Arrow lands again over onto Lies. Go throw the Heavenly Grace back out on him.
They're forced to back out, though. You know, you got so much heal between these two abilities on Omni Knight. Keeps him sustained.
Shows up from behind here, but Stars gets yet another kill over onto Faker as he was trying to just jungle up over on the side.
I mean, the Monkey King is such a good counter to so many melee heroes. At this point, he has to sit so far back. You're level 8 now on Stars, 5 on Faker. This guy's 3 levels up on him. This is wild.
That is incredibly wild right now. There's more harass being placed over onto Pingu and Lies in the top lane. Over in the mid though here, looks like because he was trying to go and just jungle up his triangle safely, but you cannot run from Stars this game. He's just everywhere. They do have a nice ward too to keep tabs. Oh, Faker. Needs to be careful here. Extra is nearby. Doesn't have that lift though. So looks like he'll be able to walk away.
Stars is just doing so much damage to the Monkey King already. He's opting to going first item Desolator, actually.
Interesting. Excel making his own movements here to this top lane. They're trying to put a lot of pressure down onto Lies. They've got the tag team. Pingu slowed down, plus the arrow should be able to collect themselves a kill. And this is going to leave Lies all alone here in this top lane as Excel just starts running at him. They don't have the roar yet. They need just a little bit more XP over here onto Pepita. So he can get that level 6. Faker's here as well, but these Power Ranger TPs coming on in. They'll be able to go get the lift off over onto Faker, but they can't quite finish him off. Arrow comes through from Michael. We'll force them back a little bit, but the jump back down again here from Stars as he's looking for this opening. He'll turn back around with the tag team. Couple of slides going through. Pepita, he's got the roar, and it looks like they'll finally be able to take down Stars. They'll lose Excel as well, as now Michael getting chased down by the Spectre. Faker too needs to be careful, as they do manage to find the kill on Acer, as Pepita now runs away.
They're forced to back off. There was a triple Remnant drop in a roar there. You know, it's so important to bring down Stars here. He's just popping off this game. So before it becomes too much of a problem, they get that. And, you know, the recovery there for Faker is desperately needed right now. You know, all he has at the moment is phase boots in his wind lace. He doesn't even have a bottle that he's been trying to queue up right now. And, you know, you got 1,000 gold in the bank in those own items on Stars. Luki's also been dominating this game. He's third, fourth in the net worth chart. He's sitting at the top of the CS at 57 and 12 now. You know, they can't really fight him during the nighttime. So Night Stalker says, okay, well, I can't really deal with this. The voids do too much damage. I just have to go farm the jungle or elsewhere. And this is going to bite you in the ass in a little bit.
It is indeed. Although, interesting to note, Lies went for a blade mail here on the Spectre. Which is usually like a very, very defensive item. I'm a little surprised, but...
Well, watch this. See?
Yes, I see.
That is blade mail in... Yeah.
Blade mail in 2020?
Yeah. It's a farming item now, apparently.
Oh, Dota.
I remember when it was like you go on Wraith King.
Excel's dead.
Ooh.
Yeah, Luki just collects himself a kill. They had left him down there to try to get some experience, but does end up falling, and they go pick up the bounty runes. Kaz has to be careful here. There is a Stars and a Luki, and a Haunt comes in too to boot. Doesn't matter they have that Moonlight Shadow, they're just after you with a vengeance right now.
You know, because he's been having a super rough game though. He thinks it's safe to go back down to this lane. It goes, okay, it's nighttime, or nighttime is over. Let's rotate down here again. You know, he doesn't have Dark Ascension up. It should be easy. He's just blown up immediately. I thought this would be a little bit better for him because they don't have tons of magical burst damage, but, you know, he started falling off, and once again, you know.
Roar into an arrow into what's looking to be a dead Pingu. And that should be this tower getting taken down, although they do go for the fortification. But they still have the Cardi alive, and that's the big one. Over on the side, looks like Faker's trying to man-fight Lukey here. And he doesn't have anything to go and just stun him up, so he's going to be able to TP out. And I hear a Walrus Punch over here on the side as they're trying to make moves over here onto Liza. There's going to be Remnant forward again. They have the Blade Mail. It's a good arrow, though, that comes in hot. Michael collecting the kill and managing to walk away despite all that damage being reflected from the Blade Mail.
He popped the Blade Mail a little bit late there. Pango managed to get the snowball off the Walrus Punch before he had used it. So Spectre would go down. They didn't really have the damage for a counter kill there, unfortunately. But it is something we keep seeing. That was the 10-minute mark. The Catapult was pushing the tower there. The people tend to extend a little bit too far forward. Start taking up tower hits in order to grab it. End up getting it in the end, though.
Faker's going to die here if he's not careful.
It's pretty cocky. They're digging
yeah, right the there. You know there's a Monkey King nearby. Alright, there we go, Faker. Yeah. Now's the time to walk away. Arcane Rune does get snapped up by the Rubik, though.
We'll start to turn their sights mid. They have Dark Ascension available. I think right now...
Faker. The lift and the silence. This is not looking good here for the Ember Spirit as in comes Stars. He was hoping to get that kill, but it'll finally be Pingu who gets his revenge.
Yeah, there's just so little that you're able to do against that crippling fear on Ember Spirit. That's why I think it was a pretty good pick.
Roar comes out, followed up with the snowball, arrow to boot. This should be a very dead Spectre. And they're going to try to immediately follow up here as Extra he manages to go. He's like no mana left after all those remnants. And they're going to try to get the kill onto Pepito. They do manage to find the kill onto Michael. But it takes a little bit more to go and finally grab Pepita up. See all the remnants, the NA special there?
He's done this twice now, actually. The first time it was the Roar, we wanted to get the kill on Monkey King as well, The recovery is just so desperate for them.
Alright, the assault on mid tower is on. Faker has to be careful approaching it here. Probably just going to try to slide around, but you have a little bit of vision. He goes and cuts down the tree using the remnant. Feels like oh, the Roar got stolen. This is not looking good for Faker, although they do manage to go and land an arrow. It's not going to be enough, though. They'll take down the Ember again. What a steal. Get the arrow stolen now over on Eggster.
Faker, he's just not having such a hot series here. His team relies on him so much to perform well in the mid lane.
No ball over onto Lukey. They'll back off.
Yeah. Without him, making space for the Terrorblade, he's trying to do all he can himself. Once again, he's sitting at the top of the net worth. He's doing what he can, but everybody on NoPango is getting ahead. They're taking towers all over the place. They're getting control of the map, and I thought they'd be able to start pushing things and take this mid-game timing, but I think Spectre is gonna get this into late game. He's gonna get on the backline, blow everybody up, and then they're gonna 1v5 the Terrorblade in the end.
I think it's just been really difficult. Hats off to Pakaz because he's still finding farm, and he's still top of the net worth despite the fact that his Ember is really, really struggling. Look at this. He's in the bottom 4 in terms of net worth right now. That feels awful. It seems that he's off his game today. You hear a drum over here as they get another Roar over onto Lies as they find him. And man, that Blade Mail, it hurt a lot for Excel, but the follow-up here coming out from Stars. Lukey managing to go, gets that final hit. Pepito trying to run away. Not going to be able to. And there's an arrow toss right back out here from Eggster as he manages to go. And they get the kill on Michael.
In all honesty,
really fantastic just counter initiation.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Spectre didn't buy back immediately after going down there, but that Blade Mail just did so much work in that team fight.
Faker has to leave. Faker, you gotta leave faster than that, my friend. The stuns, the silence, and it's a dead Ember. He tries to just dig up as well. Woo! Digging for gold.
Kills a courier as well.
Oh no. What was on the courier?
I think he had completed. Whose courier was that?
No, something was okay. Maybe he was trying to bring it over to the secret shop and get the ultimate orb.
Oh yeah.
He had an inventory slot open.
That had to have been it. Yeah. I can't see it being anything else.
Yeah, no. Excel looks like he's gonna try to punish Lukey over here. It's just gonna back off. Is Faker nearby? Arrow tossed out. Doesn't quite connect though. The shards will block him off. It's a lot of NoPangos down there. Double damage room. Faker trying to break the trees, but he's not able to, and he's just immediately dead. Nice arrow being tossed out over onto Stars, but the rest of the team is there and they do not care.
There's way too much damage coming out from the Monkey King at this point, and getting hit by 412 damage on the Boundless Strike thanks to that Desolator and the double damage rune. And, you know, they're just going to take this opportunity to do this, you know? When you win a team fight nearby the Roche Pit, you might as well. Makes it a little bit easier the fact that... Is that Rick with the stolen arrow that just expired?
Yep. And he's been landing those arrows, too, for the most part. Got Marana earlier with it. Alright, there's the Aegis picked up for Stars now. It's already pretty difficult to deal with. He's only gotten one death this entire time. He's about to be a lot more problematic here as they immediately see Faker, but he does have the Remnant up, so he's going to just run away immediately.
Yep. It feels pretty rough for him right now, but he's still just doing everything he can in order to recover. I'm impressed with Moxxi. You know, he's keeping lanes shoved out with his illusions. He's finding farm inside the enemy triangle, so he's slowing down what they're trying to do as well. Just everything he can this game to carry the team on his back. I'm not sure it's going to be enough, though. You know, just the fact that the mid lane didn't take off means Beastmaster struggles to do his job and shove out lanes and take team fights. You know, it's so heavily reliant on having somebody else who's performing really well move along with you, and they don't have that this game.
Man, once upon a time, this Terrorblade character would be able to just fight non-stop. Like, you know, you could take this late game. You could make something happen. But in the bottom lane again, oh, look at these TPs though. Arrow coming through over onto Lies. Excel's just gonna pay for this here. As he actually just goes down. No, I thought he was gonna go down to tower, but I extra with that. Final little hit here. Pepita, his Moonlit Shadow hiding over in the corner. And it looks like they figure everybody has left at this point. So, yeah, even this Luke, he was looking. He goes, he dusts. It's just no luck. But meanwhile, Pepita's just, oh god, please don't look over here. My TP's on cooldown. I'm just gonna keep cutting my way through these trees, get a little bit further in, and no one will know I'm here.
Luki just completed his Aghanim Scepter. It's great for wave clear. It's great for, you know, getting rid of all the illusions. Helps their magical burst damage overall catch people, but yeah, I'm not a really big fan of this item. I feel as if there's always better things that you can build on the Night Stalker.
Things that just dropped there for God.
Just clearing out ancient camps or something?
Yeah, just over here on the side. He went and got himself a loot pinata.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Oh, we've got the Aghanim Scepter now completed for Luki. Look at Pepita. He's still just chilling over here, trying to cut waves, cut down trees, trying to make them pay attention to him. And it's working because they don't have any creeps.
Notice me, please.
Notice me, senpai.
Clearing it's slowed down a little bit, but you know, 2 creeps got through here, and if they have the Aghanim Scepter for... Alright, they don't yet. I was going to say, if they have the Aghanim Scepter for Stars, it's going to be all they need, these 2 creeps, in order to just, like, rip through the tower. Desolator, then Aghanim Scepter. I'm curious to just how much damage this does at this stage in the game.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
He has to be beside them, unfortunately.
Don't worry. I'm coming for your job. Scotty completed that now for Picasso. This is looking a little bit better for them now. I still think it's going to be difficult considering. But, you know, not looking quite as bleak for the side of Infamous. Michael and Exter looks like they're poking each other a little bit, but the runes are up. Double damage rune is available right outside the Roche Pit, so that's actually so nice. In fact, they give the bottle over to the Terrorblade. He picks up the double damage. Save it for later, and, you know, that might be enough to kind of turn one of these fights.
It might, yeah. You know, he's got a decent amount of HP now. With the Eye of Scotty, it's hard for people to get away from him.
There's a lot of melee coming out from the side of NoPango.
Yeah, this is one of the things I've really liked about Infamous's draft. Like, it's mostly melee, it's all physical damage. It's hard for you to deal with a hero like Terrorblade. You know, if he's trading back with you, you're going to go down.
But you also have an Omni Knight with a Guardian Angel, so Peta. They have the dust. They're going really far into this base. I don't know about this here. There it is. That's what we were talking about here. As Picasso tries to run away, he's got the double damage room, but they're just waiting for the Guardian Angel to go down. They'll turn back around again. The Scotty being tossed out, and Picasso just kind of taking a bath in the middle of everything because he really wants to use this double damage, but they have to wait. They have to be patient here. They use the Roar over here onto Lies. Oh my god, from the high ground. He's just absolutely getting obliterated here, but he's going to try to go dodge away, jumping in from Faker. There's going to be a Sunder play coming out as they manage to go. They take down Excel. Now they turn their attention over here. That does manage to go take down Extra. They should be able to get Lukey here as well. And now Picasso forced back. He doesn't have that Sunder available, and Stars would love to go in for this kill, but has to be careful. They're kiting him left and right, and you know what? It's beautiful having that Heavenly Grace, but it's not enough here as they go. Turned right back around again. The Scotty just slows him down way too much as they'll collect the kill and take down Stars.
Finally able to grab a team fight there. That went pretty well for them, 5,000 XP, 2,500 gold there. I'd say the major thing was, at the start of that team fight, I think it was Tusk. He got the Walrus punch off into them, and it saved the Terrorblade. He came in on the back line here, and I felt like that was a little bit of a mistake. He got caught out by the enemies. They just couldn't focus them down. I think by that time, everyone had dived in the enemy base, and the Terrorblade was the really important hero to focus down there. Everybody else was just a distraction. I don't think that they wouldn't be able to grab that fight without the double damage rune, though. Him bottling it up and using that to take the fight was absolutely huge. And honestly, I would say pretty lucky, but sometimes that's what happens in Dota. You notice these opportunities, you see the double damage rune, they bottled it. That's what allowed them to stay in the game.
Like I will have to say, the positioning was very problematic for them, and I thought that NoPango did that well. The fact that they, had Stars drop his ultimate, and just so much damage was being taken by Picasso trying to force his way through. But they were just very patient about it. Dark Ascension comes out, and immediately, you press those buttons, you get the heck out of there. Look at Excel, he's like, oh, I'm not as fast as Faker, oh no. Please, Lukey, have mercy. Throws out the shards, doesn't matter, he can fly there, baby. Gonna be the snowball. Buys a little bit more time trying to make these plays, but he doesn't have a blink dagger like Matthew in that last game, so he is going to fall.
And I think they're probably gonna try to look for a little bit more. They might wait until this next Roshan before they want to grab another fight into the enemy base, though. And last time you just showed,
nice. Peeta's like making a beeline for him there. That was a little... Okay, alright. Everybody's getting the force staves at the same time. Woo! They all bought in bulk there. They went to Costco together. Like, let's just split it.
You'll love to see it.
Is that a thing in Canada? Do you have Costco?
We do. We have Costco Canada. We use a separate membership, though. So if I want to be able to use one in Canada and one in the States, I need to pay for 2 memberships.
That seems bogus.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, they definitely know they're there now with the smoke as they cut down all the trees. Moonlight Shadow to boot. But they're just playing it very safe here right now. Trying to bait with the Ember a little bit. They'll turn their attention now to the top tower. They know most of them are over in that middle or bottom area. So they're just going to take the top tier 2. Nice arrow, just doing a little bit of scouting. Doesn't reveal anything. They'll fortify. Picasso will just head off to the side here and finish up the tower.
According to Dota Plus, it tipped slightly back into Infamous's favor, not in favor in general, but from 95% back to 85. But regardless of that, I've just seen Infamous's odds of going up steadily throughout this. The longer they take to end the game, the bigger the Terrorblade is going to be. And you rely right now so much on the physical damage of Monkey King. You're playing against a hero that, right now has...
Oh, that's dead Michael.
Yeah, that is a dead Michael.
Probably a dead Excel, too. The snowball goes... Oh, snowball and snowball action. Snowball fight. I like it. But that's definitely a dead Excel as well. Lukey getting himself a double kill.
Yeah, probably, yeah, Roshan has just respawned. Nighttime has hit. It's Aegis and Cheese. I feel like you grab this and then you take a team fight against the enemy, and that is your best possible timing in this game. Working on a mask of... a Morbid mask on the Terrorblade. Lifesteal, he probably wants a Satanic as quickly as possible. But as I was saying, it's really just the Monkey King who's popping off this game. It's all physical damage coming out from him. So up against a Terrorblade, you're really struggling right now. He's working on the solution right now, the MKB. Tearing through that armor and doing magical damage instead, along with his stone soldiers, actually does tons of damage. This, because he was on top of him last fight and just wasn't doing enough. When you trying to hit somebody who's got 36 armor, your Desolator feels a little bit useless.
I think the other thing that also causes a bit of problems is when they have a double damage rune online for their core and they're kind of going to town, but we'll hop into this Roche Pit. They should finish this off very, very quickly. And that's going to be an Aegis and Cheese. Yara's just a little bit too late there, friend. Makas? Luki going in, they've got the Haunt, they're looking for a quick pickoff over here. Good roar over onto the back lines, they'll turn right back around, and Faker, though, just immediately murdered here as Luki trying to fight through. There's gonna be the Guardian Angel, they'll use the Force Staff, they want to just kite the Monkey King as much as they can. Cell will be next to fall. And they still are just chasing after Pakaz here. He's gonna try to man fight them here, but the silence, they need to be very, very careful. Shards comes through from Excel because he bought back. Pepita standing nearby. They're gonna back away. Casual arrow, that would have been funny if it hit Lies there, but just a little bit off the mark.
Haunt is still on cooldown. He needs a bit of mana. I'm curious if it's yeah, just a single clear. You're gonna need a little bit more than that, though, buddy. You know, enemy team, I think they want to grab something real quick before Metamorphosis is down. They don't have the time, though.
I mean, Stars. Oh, they cut down Stars! The Roar, though, gotten stolen by Aegster. We'll be able to buy him a little bit more time. There's the Walrus Punch as they go jumping right back in again. Pakaz looking for the opening, but they don't have the Metamorphosis anymore. So it doesn't look like they want to fight. They're going to try to back off here. Faker just running away as fast as he can. That was a great save coming out from Aegster on that Rubik. Otherwise, I think... Oh, they left the Greater Fairy Fire! No!
Oh, no.
Disaster.
You're gonna be happy about that on NoPango at least. 70 seconds until Haunt is back up. How long we got? 65 on Metamorphosis. Both these people are more than happy to wait, but you know, I feel like it matters a little bit more to Infamous. You know, if Monkey King's able to fight and doesn't have to worry about, you know, this Eye of Scotty range attack slows coming out and hitting him, then he's a lot better off. So I think they should grab this tier 2 tower and try to run through the top lane, to be honest with you. Not let the enemies split them up like this.
They've got their eyes on the top tower. Stars immediately just wailing away, putting that So over on it. They don't have everyone. They're just running back now. The TP's on cooldown for Pakaz too, so he cannot be there. Faker is basically a creep who can slide at this point. Luki's courier gets killed. They do manage to go and get that enchanted quiver out of his hands. Down, a couple more slides. Nice arrow coming through. Does manage to go and land on Lies. Luki using the Dark Ascension now, chasing after Michael. They do have all their Force Staves, though. So finally, Pakaz, after running across the map, is going to be able to join in on this fight. Has Metamorphosis up in 1 second. And there it is. There's going to be the Haunt. They're going right back in again. They drop the Monkey King ulti, and Pakaz just can't seem to do anything during that ultimate. His Force Path, though, ended up losing Excel. They lost Pepita to boot. And that is going to be the tower and racks taken down in this top lane. On the bright side, they didn't use the Metamorphosis just yet on Pakaz, so they still have that in their pocket, but I don't know what they can hope to do here without having Pepita alive to help get the Roar in place.
Yeah. Beastmaster and Beastmaster and the Tusk both don't have buyback right now either, so no, I think regardless of that, you get back, you wait for the next Haunt, you take the team fight alongside that. Or burning through a little bit of this Aegis time, though.
Are indeed.
1 minute and 10 seconds till he reclaims that. I think, you know, if you're Infamous, you try to grab something outside the base, but you know, this Metamorphosis is so crucial for them to be able to take these team fights. And if you commit it out there on just killing a random hero, suddenly you don't have it in defense, the enemies are just going to be able to rip apart your base. Now, the later this goes, I feel like you have a little bit easier time on Poxes. If it does go to Ultralight, Spectre just rips everyone apart on the backline, and then they 1v5 the Terrorblade. But I'm not sure if Poxes can get strong enough to kill some of these enemy heroes before Spectre hits that critical mass that we're thinking of. In fact, he's only 1,200 gold from this Eye of Scotty. That's going to be very big in these team fights. It's going to be so difficult to get away from him.
I mean, on the flip side of things too, though, Pakaz has been really, really good at staying at the top of the net worth, despite, the rest of his team really struggling, because the next 3 followed up, 17k on the Spectre, 16 on Monkey King, and then 15 on Night Stalker. So he is holding his own, but like you said, the rest of the team is just going to melt the Spectre every time that they haunt, because they just don't have that net worth. I mean, look at Faker. So it feels bad, man, when you look at his items. I hate to say it. But, like, he's just there. He exists.
Yeah. He was working on that Maelstrom, like, 25 minutes ago.
Yeah, this isn't where you want to see your mid-ember. Daedalus is completed now for Pakaz. The arrow lands over onto Stars, but there's no way that they're going to follow that up. It's way too risky. They don't have anyone else showing on the map right now.
The Guardian Angel is up. Haunt again. It's a shame that we didn't end up getting to see the Aegis used here. Here it is. The Scotty is now completed on Lies. They might try to take a fight with this one, say, okay, let's go. Or we could, wait for next Roshan, save for buyback, and then take it. Pangolier is playing this very slow and carefully here.
It feels like they're just hoping that someone's going to be coming up to this high ground, but they're not taking the bait here. Smoke comes out. Luki is going to be the one who reveals himself, but they'll make the play over here onto Stars, and immediately that haunt right onto the back lines, trying to get the kill over onto Pepita, as he's going to get silenced up, but they need to kite him more. They need to find a solution so he can get this roar off. He turns back around. He almost manages to get it off, but he's going to go down. Doesn't manage to do it in time. Now Excel also taken down as Pakaz trying to run away. Decides he's going to turn back around, tries to man fight. Does manage to get the kill over onto Stars, but they don't have the Sunder. He's not able to go and survive this as Faker is next to fall. The buyback comes out now from Stars. Luki finds himself a double kill. And that's a team wipe. 16k net worth lead right now. They just look too powerful, Neph. I don't know. I mean, their one saving grace is that it's daytime, so Luki can't just go wailing away on this tower as well, but Stars is so powerful, and Lies now, especially with that Scotty. There's no buyback on the Terrorblade. There's no buyback on Faker either. They can just waltz on into the space and do whatever they want.
I think they could just take Ancient here. I mean, look at the amount of damage that this Deso Aghanim Scepter does. They're playing it super safe, though. They're just grabbing the Raxes. I'm not sure if they have to. I guess they're worried about them turning around at some time. This feels like a little bit of a mistake to me, but, right now in the game, I don't think you're in any rush. If it goes ultra late, you're going to be fine, so they don't dive the tier 4s here.
I mean, they're getting Megas right now. Yeah. They're going Megas, and there's still not going to be a Terrorblade for another 25 seconds. They don't have the greatest wave clear either on the side of Infamous to kind of deal with this.
No, neither team did, but they just won mid way too hard. I feel like this game was just won off the back of Stars here. And KXY having like a super bad performance today.
Or that Stars is just having a godlike day too,
Yeah. Stars is having a pretty good time, but I definitely feel as if, a couple mistakes were made by him playing a bit too aggressive in the mid lane. Stars, he turns around, he punishes him super hard for it, but, Faker, I see him normally do a bit better than this,
No, I'll agree. Today
it is
just feels
late,
off, and it also feels like a little bit of tilt, too, honestly. Like the way that he's been playing a bit. Which happens to all of us when we play Dota. Look at Luki. Sees a courier, thinks about it, turns back around. Pakaz, though, he's here. Realizes that Luki's a bit out of position. We'll just go use that mirror image over here onto Luki, force him back. Doesn't want to have to fight himself. There can only be one Batman. Excel, though, the lift coming out from Eggster immediately. Haunt comes out, silence. They have the Moonlight Shadow, but they do have the Dust and the Detection. Snowball buys him a little bit more time as he's going to try to go rolling over here to this creep, but doesn't matter. Lies is waiting. Pakaz getting into position. He's very out of position up for the rest of his team. Luki diving in, and of course, we joke about this, that Luki tends to go a little bit too far, but with that BKB, might be able to survive this as they just go to town over here. They're trying to just kite him as much as they can. They have the Heaven's Halberd over to Pakaz, so he's not able to hit anything. It's going to just get tossed up right in the middle of this Monkey King holding. Nice snowball, though, coming out from Excel. Will be able to keep him alive, and it looks like they'll be able to finally take down Luki, but they're just taking too much damage. The Sunder comes off, though, because he can't just stand there and fight. He's taking way too much damage. He's trying to man-fight here with the Spectre, but Calameo's doing way too much. He will go down. No buyback on the Terrorblade. The GG well played. Who would have thunk it, Neph? Actually, no. You know what? I know who would have thunk it. Neph Sensei, because he's a big fan of this team, because NoPango has managed to 2-0 today.
Yeah, you know, everyone doubts the open qualifier teams, but these are the guys that sweat, they bleed, they play harder than anyone else once they're playing in the tournament. You know, this is the big stage for them, one of the biggest tournaments these guys have ever played, and my God, are they delivered today. You know, you could argue that Infamous didn't have such a great day. KXY outperformed in the mid lane by Stars for sure, which feels a little bit unusual, but you know, you can't doubt that they play so well, so disciplined on NoPango. The coordination is amazing. They use their team fight spells together so well. You know, it really impressed me, especially earlier today when they played against Catjammers, that while they were losing, you know, they didn't overcommit to any team fights. They held all their abilities when things looked really bad. They managed to turn that game around. These two games, you know, they started winning after the laning phase, and they just held on to it the entire time. So super impressed by them, and a great win for North American Dota, the open qualifier team, beating somebody who was, you know, previously second in the groups right now. We'll see how they do going forward.
Yeah, it feels like they got some sort of momentum and fire underneath them over on the side of NoPango. And I have to say, you know, Stars really did a fantastic job. There were a couple questionable moves coming out from Faker, like I said. It definitely felt the first, I don't understand what happened with that first kill, to be quite honest. There was no reason for Faker to turn right back around again and just immediately get obliterated by Stars. But then Stars just kept performing consistently. He kept finding the opportunities. Again, I don't know if Faker was a little bit tilted after that first game, because he was presenting these opportunities that were too risky. He got too aggressive. And they picked up his hero fairly early on, too. So I expected a better showing from him, to be quite honest. But, you know, just didn't work out. You gave Lukey one of his signature heroes, so he's going to show up on that. Rubik had some fantastic steals this game as well. And, you know, Lies just did Spectre things. That's, you know, the long and short of it is that he had the space created by Stars, so he was able to farm up, and it was too difficult for Pakaz. You know, hats off to him, because he struggled, right? And then they immediately went into the triangle. They put a lot of pressure on him, and were finding these kills, but he was still finding farm across the map. It just, in the end, it just wasn't enough. The Spectre got too big. Stars was too big. Even Lukey was like, he's so tanky towards the end. It was ridiculous. So, you know, a victory going over here to the open qualifier team. You love to see it. You love to see growth coming out of these regions. And Infamous just a bit off today, but I'm sure they're going to bounce back.
Yeah, you know, extremely solid team. They continue to impress me more and more every tournament. It could be that it was just late for them, but, you know, no takeaway from the win of No Pangolier today. Amazing gameplay out of them, and it was an awesome day of Dota 2, everybody. More than happy to be here, but it is getting late. So, Moxxi, throw it back to you. Any final words?
You know, thanks for supporting NASA Dota, you guys. It's always a pleasure to see you guys over in chat cheering for your teams. And yeah, that's going to be it from us today. We do have plenty more of the Dota Summit 13 coming up. Neph and I will be back tomorrow. And we do have Beast Coast versus Team 4 Fun, which is formerly Team Zero. And that is the Eternal Envy stack to start our day. So, you know, what better way to start your day than with some Eternal Envy, Dota, and some South American action coming out of Beast Coast. But we are going to say goodnight to you. It is very, very late where I am personally, and I'm sure it's pretty late where you are as well. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Neph for being my co-broadcaster, and especially to Pythian for running our stream. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow.